Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this webinar on how you can make more money using LunaCal. Today, the objective is to walk you through some of the tip and tricks of using LunaCal and how essentially you can use some of the nuances within LunaCal to sort of make more money, right? I'll share my screen and I'll walk you through the entire process. Some of the tips are specific to niche segments, for example, coaches or agencies, while the other tips are relevant for everyone. All right, so let's get to it. I'll start sharing my screen. All right, so we'll start with the first one, which is selling multi-session packages. So what I've seen is a lot of people just use a single session and ask their clients to book that one session, right? However, as you grow your business, especially if you are a coach, a consultant, or if you run, for example, a fitness studio where you have people coming in regularly, you would want to migrate to multi-session packages. And this is something that LunaCal supports. So here, instead of selling one meeting at a time, you are now selling outcomes, and you can sort of bundle multiple sessions together, and then that's geared towards this clear result, right? Give each package a name. For example, learn Facebook marketing, and then it can be a 3-session course for people, right? Let me show you how to create this. So go to your configurations and settings. Whenever you create a new event, right? Let's say I have to create a learn Facebook marketing, and I'll call it 3 sessions. These would be 1 hour sessions each. And here what I'll do is I'll enable the multi-session package feature here, right? And I'll say that it can have, let's say, you can book 5 sessions. I can set up availability accordingly. And now what will happen is whenever someone books this slot, instead of just booking one single session, they would be able to add multiple sessions here, right? So they can add multiple sessions and then book all of them together. And if it's a paid meeting, then they can pay for all the sessions together, right? So multi-session package is something that I would highly recommend to users. The second thing is charging upfront. Now, uh, in LunaCal, and as is true for a lot of other scheduling tools as well, you can enable paid sessions, right? So let's say here, what I can do is I can go to payments and I can enable charge for this event. I can set up a amount for this. It can be an individual session or a package, and a means of collecting that payment, right? And LunaCal does not charge any commission fee. The money directly goes from client's card or account to your Stripe or PayPal account, right? And here now what happens is people have to pay before they book. So this sort of this drives that commitment that yes, I have to turn up for the meeting, and only serious people end up booking your time. Right. The third thing is creating coupons strategically. Now, this is a feature that I absolutely love within LunaCal. What you can do is you can, let me show how to do this. All right. So once you're setting up payments, right, you can also apply discount coupons. Now, discount coupons give you multiple benefits. And first of all, like for first time bookings, to encourage people to book for the first time, you can create a limited time offer, right? It's only available for the next 7 days, for example, right? So here now what you do is when you're creating a coupon, I can say, let's say I'm running a Christmas promo. I can set an expiration date for it. And oh, it doesn't go in the past. All right. It's not really Christmas promo. Let's say any other festival. And then I set an expiration date for it. And then it's only valid till that time. Right. So now when you're promoting this coupon on different social media, you can drive that urgency that you have to book within this duration. Right. What you can also do is you can offer these promo codes after any lead magnet downloads, right? So let's say you have gated content. Whenever someone downloads that content, you give them that here is a coupon that you can use, right? Or you can use it to revive old leads. To all your old leads, you send them a coupon saying that you get 50% off on your next booking, right? And the way it works is, let's say here I've put up a coupon. Uh, I say that it's the discount value is 20%, and I create it. Now, what will happen is whenever someone is booking this package or a single session. So right now here it's a package. So let's say a person books 5 sessions. They can apply a coupon code here, and then the price will automatically reduce, right? Another interesting use case is that you can apply a limit where it only works for a limited number of bookings, right? So, for example, here I can say that this coupon would only work for the first 5 users. And now what happens is I put it on my social media. I say that, hey, here's a coupon, only works for the first 5 users, and it's a first come, first serve kind of a coupon, right? So this sort of then drives that urgency that I have to be among those first 5 people, right? And you can also apply a rule which says that it's only valid for if you're booking over, let's say, $300, right? So then it makes people want to book more sessions together so that they can avail this coupon. So, I mean, using coupon, you can very strategically create a lot of different scenarios wherein you're driving urgency, or you're reviving old leads, or you're making people take that first action, right? In fact, a lot of people also use it as a referral. So, let's say you have a client, you tell them that, hey, if you can refer another client, you can give them this coupon of first 20, and they get 20% off, right? The next tip that you can use is doing group sessions. Now, group sessions can be free sessions, or they can also be low cost sessions, right? Depending on what your objective is. The way to run group sessions within LunaCal is that, and let's say there's a webinar that I have to take, right? The simplest example, you enable group bookings and then you show a specific number of slots here, right? And now what happens is whenever someone wants to book your time, they'll see there are these 20 slots available. So whenever someone books this, the next person will see that there are 19 slots available, right? And here also you can enable payments. So for example, let's say you want to do a group class where there are 20 seats, and you can sell 50% off coupon for group classes, and you have these 20 people who have joined together, right? Sort of reduces your effort and directly increases your revenue as well, right? If you go beyond charging for payments, like you can also use it for in-person workshops or group classes, dance classes, right? Wherever you want a group of people to book at the same time. Okay. All right. The next thing that I would want to discuss is meeting reminders, right? And these are super important. I think all good scheduling tools offer meeting reminders. In LunaCal, we've taken them one step forward, and I'll show you how to set it up here, right? So we call them workflows because in LunaCal, it's not just reminders, it's also like different emails that you can send throughout the journey of the customer before they book before they after they've booked a call. Let's say you send a reminder, right? Then just before they have to attend the meeting, you send another terms and conditions. Maybe after they are done with the meeting, you send them an email um, with feedback form, right? 3 days after the meeting, you send them another email trying to cross sell something to them or giving them more value. So throughout the entire life cycle of the customer, you keep engaging them by creating these workflows, right? I'll start with the first one, which is a normal email or SMS reminder. Now, this is important because this prevents no-shows. The way to do it is you create a workflow, right? Let's say I call it meeting reminder for sessions, right? Uh, I can select which all events do I want to apply this workflow to. And then what I do is I say that before the event starts, 24 hours, let's say 12 hours before the event starts, I want to send an email to all the attendees with some custom content, right? Here I can say, hey, here's a reminder about your upcoming session and anything else that I want to mention, right? So here are the terms and conditions for the session, for example, right? Or what you need to prepare before you come for the session, right? And the way you can set it up for attendees, you can also set it for host, right? So you also start to get those reminders, right? Or if you're working in a team, let's say you have 10 people in your team, so as an admin you can set it up for different members, so that maybe there are some service providers in your team who forget turning up for meetings, so they also get those reminders, right? And what it does is immediately, whatever time you have specified, at that point, those people will receive an email, both attendee as well as the host. Right? And you can also set up multiple such reminders. So, for example, someone books a call with you 2 days before the event, they get one reminder 24 hours before the event, and then they get another reminder just 30 minutes before the event. Right? So, this sort of further reduces the chances of drop offs. One thing that I'd recommend is that when you're setting up reminders, also try to add some value in the reminder, right? So just telling them that, hey, here is a session. Maybe in one of these you add, these are the things that we would be covering in the session, right? Or this is the benefit that you will get out of the session. So additional things that sort of drives value for them. Okay. And the reminders can be set up for both through both email as well as SMS. So depending on the kind of customers you have, you can set it up, or as most people set both SMS and email reminders. Okay. By the way, one small point here, we actually are also bringing in a new feature wherein, in addition to SMS and email, we'll also have a voice agent who'll call up people, reminding them of the meeting, right? So your clients will receive a call, hey, you have a meeting coming in the next 3 hours, right? And if they say that, no, I won't be able to attend the meeting, the voice agent will then ask them for another time slot that they can pick. Okay. And while we are on no shows, there is one more feature within LunaCal. You can actually disable canceling and rescheduling if you want, right? Or you can set a rule that you only can cancel till, let's say, 24 hours before the meeting, right? So let's say you're a doctor, you don't want people to cancel at the last moment because that sort of wastes your time. So what you can do is you can set up a rule that till 24 hours you can cancel things. After that you cannot. And then, in fact, this is something that applies to all service industries, whether you are a doctor, lawyer, a therapist, a coach, a fitness class who doesn't want people to cancel at the last moment. So you can sort of create these rules. All right. The next thing is workflows to engage audience, and I've kept it together because workflows are an extension of just basic reminders. So far, what we did in reminders was to set uh, use before the event starts as a trigger point, right? But what you can also do is on other trigger points, you schedule uh, emails for people, right? So let's say uh, when an event is booked, Luna can anyway sends a default confirmation email, right? But let's say you want to send another email with some terms and conditions that they need to accept, and that's something that you can do, right? Or after the event ends, what I want to do is, let's say 1 hour after the event ends, I want to send an email to people uh, saying them thank you, right? Or maybe so this email, for example, just says that it was great having the conversation. You can also say here's a feedback link, right? Or here's a document that you can go through. So essentially, like the entire journey of the customer, uh, throughout the journey, you want to engage with them. That's the objective. All right. Uh, the next step that I have is cross sell on the scheduling page. Now, uh, let me take you to the scheduling page itself. And I'm assuming most of you would have seen LunaCal scheduling page. There are these beautiful widgets that you can add. You can design the look and feel according to your brand. uh, I'll spend some time talking about the different customizations that are there. The first thing that you can do is you can play with the play with these backgrounds, right? So there are these static backgrounds, or you can have like, motion in the background, really cool backgrounds that you can select depending on what kind of a business you have, right? uh, and then you have these different themes, right? So in fact, first you select the theme and then you usually select background. Within themes, you have a very professional kind of a theme in case your audience is a little old school, or you're in a very serious kind of a business, then this is the kind of background that you can choose. There is this playful background, which is for people who are in creative businesses. So if I preview it, this is how it looks, right? So it like is a very creative uh, kind of a vibe that you get from this calendar. And there actually is a calendar that's there, right? Then you have another theme, a very minimalist theme that's there. And we also keep releasing themes basis different events, right? So this is what we released in the last Christmas. We had a Santa Claus moving, right? So like on different occasions, you can keep on selecting themes and it instantly like upgrades your page, right? This is a very cool looking page, goes well with the season that's there, right? Now back to the, let's say, a bold theme. Next, what I can do is I can select different colors and everything changes here, right? You can change your photo from here. You can change designation. You can even add a company logo on the right hand side, right? And on the right hand side, what you see are different widgets, right? Now, to add a widget, you just go to add widget. Let's say I want to add text. I click on text and about me, right? I can just start writing about myself. I can add another tab, add details here, right? So like a lot of engaging content is what I can add on the right hand side. What I can also do is I can make some widgets event specific, right? So let's say for MasterCard, I want to show some different content to people. So I can hide some widgets from here and like show them only for specific events, right? So I can do these kind of customizations here. All right. Now, if I have to dive a little deeper into widgets, what you can also do is the idea here is to build trust with your audience, right? So when someone lands on a plain scheduling page, they don't really trust you, right? They probably know you a bit from previous conversations. They might have visited the website, but then it's very difficult to maintain website, right? So what you can do is you can keep on adding content on this page so that that builds trust. So for example, let's say if you run a podcast, right? So go to audio and I have a sample podcast open here. Let's say this is my podcast. Uh, I just copy link from here. It was Apple Podcast, I think. Okay. And I embed it here, right? So, and I call it something like my health, any podcast, or any name that you want to give here. And people can actually play content from here within LunaCal itself, right? So here you can either embed the entire playlist, or you can also embed specific episodes that you want, right? So now when people come here, they look at a podcast going on. They first of all now have an opportunity to go and know more about you there. And this also is sort of driving traffic to your other social media assets where you want people to go. And they also build trust, right? Because now they look at you as someone who is like giving knowledge to the audience, right? The way you have podcasts, you can also add specific LinkedIn posts, right? So for example, I want to embed this post. I go here, I copy link to post. I say social feed, and you have options of different things. I have to add a LinkedIn post here, but if not LinkedIn, then you can also add other things, right? Facebook posts, a lot of different options are available there, right? Similarly, you can add video. It can be from YouTube at any other platform, or if you're not active anywhere, just put a Google Drive video here, right? uh, All right. So these are sort of the things that you can add here to drive engagement. And another thing around cross selling, which is really important, is that you can add gallery here, for example. And if you want to promote any other digital product, let's say I have a book that I want to promote. So I click here. Let's say this is the book that I have. Uh, I image my recent book. I add a call to action. Buy now. I give any Amazon, whatever the link of the book is, right, to purchase it, and I can add it, right? Now, what will happen is people who are coming here would also get an opportunity to buy additional stuff, right? So I might be selling another course on a platform. In fact, let's say I'm doing a webinar, I can even add link to subscribing for that webinar here, right? And now whenever someone comes here to book time with me, they also get to know of these things, right? So uh, think of it like a mini landing page that you have, which is engaging people, right? Now, an interesting experiment that we did, because one of the apprehensions that we had was, would this content distract people and not make them want to book, right? And this is where we did an experiment on a large set of customers, and we realized that people who put in rich content, they get almost 30% conversion rate, right? Which is extremely high, right? People who put in limited content still get about 15% conversion rate. That was the average in LunaCal. And a typical scheduling page with no content, like outside of LunaCal, they convert at less than 10%, right? So by adding this content, you're actually, and if you add this smartly, you actually drive conversions a lot, right? Because you might be sharing your scheduling page with a lot of people. You don't have to just give it one on one to specific people, right? Add it to your LinkedIn, to your social media, on every post that you're sharing, just put in this content. So then you would have a large number of people who land on your scheduling page, right? And these people are not really convinced of your services so far. They might have looked at some content, they came on this page. So this page does that selling, wherein people are now more educated about you, and then they are booking call, right? Also, like the traditional booking pages are very bland, boring, so it adds that personality to your booking page, right? All right. So I think cross-selling and increasing conversions is something that we've largely covered. A couple of more tips on increasing conversions. So you also want to make sure, let me close packages. Okay. For any session, keep the booking form very concise. And if possible, try to add drop downs instead of keeping free text fields. Right? People don't want to add a lot of content. So that's why when you're configuring your booking questions, let's say this is the event, these are booking questions, try to add questions where people can just select from a checkbox, right? So let's say I don't know, I'm a coach and there are four things that or let's say I want to know something about people, right? So instead of giving a free text field, I say which of these is true, right? So because it then makes it very easy for someone to just check and move forward. And also people take time when they have to think of something to write, right? So they feel that they're being judged, I have to write something. So avoid keeping free text fields to the extent possible. All right. The next one, and this is especially important for agencies who can make money by setting LunaCal for their clients, right? And in fact, this is also important for any service business who might otherwise be spending a lot of money on offline operations or doing a lot of custom development to set up scheduling for themselves, right? Let me take you. All right. So before deep diving into how agencies use Lunacal, let's look at how a service business, the booking journey of a service business can be built on Lunacal, right? And I'll start from here. You can click this, select any any person here, and then book time with them, right? So this entire journey can be built within LunaCal, right? Where a person is coming, they are booking time, and then they are selecting a time slot, right? Now, what agencies can do is they might have a wide variety of clients, which can be uh, they can either be, let's say, uh, coaches, consultants, healthcare companies, hospitals, schools, any service business that you can think of, right? Lawyers, financial consultants. So for all of them, you can create these different workspaces, right? And every workspace corresponds to a particular client. And let's say this is a particular workspace that I've built. I can invite, um as in here, then I can add team members of that client, right? And then I can create these different calendars for them. And I can then either the client can share direct calendars or they can embed this within their website, right? I actually created a detailed video on it a few hours back, and it's there on the LunaCal YouTube channel on how agencies can specifically use LunaCal. So do go through it. But the gist of it is that everything you need to manage a particular client, their team members, their booking page, whatever workflows that they have, right? That the person needs to select the service, they need to pay, they need to provide these intake questions, and then the data needs to flow into any other platform. This entire thing can be built very, very easily within LunaCal. And you can keep on changing clients as well if you want, right? So let's say there is a client, you're working with them, but then you stop working with them, you remove them, and then that quota frees up. You can use it for some other client, right? So I would recommend agencies to think of a lot of use cases and very easily implement LunaCal for your clients, right? All right. I think largely these are things that I wanted to talk about. There are a ton of opportunities within LunaCal on how to make money, because that's how we've positioned the entire product. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out. There is a question someone has asked: how can I use LunaCal to weed out potential prospects that might not be a fit? Okay, so we haven't really covered routing forms right now, but this is actually a very good question for routing forms. In routing forms, what you can do is, instead of showing a calendar upfront, right, uh, show them you show them a form. The person fills up the form, and then based on their responses, that's when you can show them a particular calendar or direct them to some other page, right? In fact, let me give you a quick glance of it. All right. So this is how routing forms work. I've set up a sample thing here. Think of, like, let's say you are a B2B SaaS company, right? And you want to, you have people coming on your website. Now, in the initial days, you might just want to embed a calendar so that anyone comes there, they can directly select a time slot and just book time, right? But as you grow and you have a lot of irrelevant leads coming up, what you can do is you can create filtering questions beforehand. So, for example, what are you looking for? Like, not the best question, but just as an example, let's say this is what I want to ask. And then people can select whether they want to talk to sales, they want to join LunaCal team, they want support, right? And you can also ask, what's your company size, right? And what you can potentially do is, people who are coming to talk to sales and have a small size, right? There you can direct them to either a self-serve journey or direct them to, let's say, an SDR team, right? Whereas people who want to talk to sales and have a larger team, you drive them to enterprise sales people, right? If they select, I want to join LunaCal team, then you direct them to the careers page, right? So once you have sort of built up the initial form, the next thing that you can do is go to routing, right? And here set up different routes based on rules. So let's say if what they're looking for is talk to sales, and if this company size is greater than 100, then you direct them to uh, an event within LunaCal, right? or you can direct them to any third party page, right? So uh, like for all these different use cases, you can create these routing rules, and this page can be embedded on your website itself, right? I think there is one thing that I missed sharing on the website part, and this is especially important for people who are embedding LunaCal within their website. So, if you go to this booking page section and you click on website embed, you have a lot of different options of embedding LunaCal within a website. Let's say I want to embed my team booking page. Now, even within this page, I can completely change the design, look and feel of it, colors, etc., depending on what kind of an audience I have, right? So there are a lot of designer themes, minimalist themes that you can choose from. Uh, and the entire flow gets embedded. So someone clicks on this, then the select professional step comes up, they select a particular professional, and then the calendar embed comes up. The actual calendar comes up, and they can book time. This is the entire booking process can be embedded within your website, right? And another cool thing that you can do is do this floating pop-up, right? This pop-up that you see, this can be there on all the pages of your website or only on selective pages, where a person clicks on it and then this opens up, right? And here, while you have a dog here, you actually can completely change it depending on what kind of a business you're in, right? So go to widget settings. Like you can have no animation if you want, or depending on what kind of a business you're in, you can select something, right? So if you're, let's say, a yoga business, right, your uh, clients are coming to a yoga studio for sessions, then this is the kind of thing that you can set up, right? And if you're in real estate, you can set this up. And if you're an agency who caters to all these different kinds of businesses, then you can essentially set it up for all of those businesses, right? By creating different workspaces and adding the right calendar to the right client. Okay. Uh, any other question? How do I set up the booking page so that meetings are the longer format rather than small square? Uh, Sorry, I didn't get this. Oh, if you mean the look and feel of how meetings look like, that's not editable right now, unfortunately. All right. Any other question? Cool. We'll end the webinar in that case. Thanks everyone for joining in. The webinar will be available in on the LunaCal YouTube page. Go through it, and if you need any help, feel free to reach out to us. Thanks. Bye.